This episode of Make Live is brought to you by DigiKey.
All right, great. We've got our next guest on the line. We're just taking a quick show. You want to pull up the map?
There we
go.
go.
You show the cool map that you made? Yeah, okay, great. So we're going to move from Twin Cities, Minneapolis, to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to our Milwaukee Makerspace.
Hello!
Hello there. My name is Royce Pipkins. I'm the president of Milwaukee Makerspace.
So nice to have you on the show.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
So tell us a little bit about Milwaukee Makerspace first.
Okay, we started meeting in fall of 2009, and we rented this space in November of 2010. And we've been growing ever since. We're up to 26 members now, and we've got a number of clubs sort of within the space, and a lot of fun things going on. One of the first things I would like to show you, actually, is this biodiesel reactor behind us, and Swee's kind of the man behind that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Swee?
We have a group that makes biodiesel out of this called an apple seed open source reactor. I get the grease from the Chinese restaurants. I filter the grease in this 55-gallon drum and then load it onto a 80-gallon hot water heater. And then we heat the grease to 130 degrees and add methanol and sodium hydroxide. And out of that process called trans-esterification, we get glycerin and biodiesel. Glycerin we give to a soap maker, biodiesel we put in the car.
Pretty cool.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you.
So some of the other groups we have here is an electric car club, and I'm going to let Tom Gralowitz, our vice president, tell you about this.
Hi, my name is Tom Gralowitz. I'm the vice president and one of the founders here at the Milwaukee Makerspace. And I think one of the things we really want to emphasize is that we've become a host for clubs. The biodiesel is actually a group of probably half a dozen people that all pitch in together to build the machines and make the biodiesel. We have a fairly large electric car group here. We have two of the examples right here. One's a Dodge Neon that's built with all AC equipment out of factories. The other is a Ford Ranger that's being built in the process. It's running DC. One of the things we're really good at here at the Milwaukee Makerspace is scrounging stuff. The motors came out of a forklift. The batteries come from a used battery place. The wire came from a scrap yard. We've got spare springs to beef up the back end. So it really doesn't matter much. We can find just about whatever we need to build just about anything. Over there is a vacuum former that's in the process of being built. And here you've got Brent with a toy.
Hi, Internet. This is my little electric razor scooter. It was a razor scooter I found in an alley. A couple of kids had trashed the wheels, so I threw a couple of wheels on there from a wheelchair. A 24-volt motor off of a larger electric scooter, a couple of 18-volt batteries from Harbor Freight, industrial push button from Alan Bradley, and it'll do burnouts.
Oh, wow.
That was myself about 10 miles an hour, so it's not a bad little ride.
How long does it take you to build something like that?
This took about 2 or 3 weeks worth of scrounging parts and knocking stuff together.
Cool, thanks for showing it to us.
Well, thank you.
Oh.
No drinking and driving!
Who's that? And what is he riding?
That's one of the Power Wheels cars. The Makerspace in Chicago came up with this idea a couple of years ago about taking the little plastic kiddie cars and converting them so an adult can drive them and then holding races. We thought that was so much fun that we built 5 cars and hauled them to Detroit last year for the Maker Fair. And we're going back both to Kansas City and Detroit this year. What you saw go by was Big Jake, that's built and run by a 16-year-old high school student. This is Little Pig Trike, which is the smallest Power Wheels car I could find. I drive that one. The biggest one we could find is Big Jake. That's Roy's. I'm sorry,
Gravedigger.
And that's Royce's. I'm going to try to speed things up a little bit. We've got a bunch of projects here along the wall. There's a 3-wheel motorcycle being built for handicapped gentlemen. There's musical equipment. There's music for the music group. The other groups that meet here right now, there's a Makerspace Music Group, and there's Milwaukee Amateur Robotics Club. Over here we've got our woodworking shop where all our tools are on wheels so we can pull them out and use them. We're with the same problem with everybody else. We want a bigger space. We want more room. We just got to get enough members signed up so we can afford it. And let me walk you through our workshop and let me hand it back over to Royce.
We call this the shop. We have a lot of metalworking equipment here. This is one of our pride and joys here. It's the Norton Knee Mill. It's a metalworking mill. It is not CNC, but it does have a digital readout on it. Maybe one day we'll convert it, but we'll have to get around the backlash somehow. But we've got drill presses, chop saws, all sorts of hand tools, things like that. Over here, we have a very important tool. This is the fun tool. This is Makerspace Invaders. You can see the clever hack that we did at the Makerspace Invaders pinball. But over here is another pride for us. Two of our members made this in the first couple of months here. Tom Gralla has procured us the XY table of a defunct CNC laser, and it's an excellent table. And what we have done is make it into, we built a chassis around it, we made it into a CNC router. So you can see we've been routing out our logo. I've also been using it to route out faceplates for our RFID access control system that I also buy. We have a Mach 3 computer over there, so that's a lot of fun. Just to give you a taste of the space, I'd like to show you our electronics lab.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, we have a pretty good electronics lab, really. We've got a test equipment rack here. We've got Variacs. We've got benchtop power supplies. We've got a 4-channel 100 megahertz oscilloscope. We've got a very nice 32-channel logic analyzer. We've got function generators, frequency counters, all sorts of fun stuff. But even more fun to that is what we call the hack rack, and this is just random stuff. Tom is a e-waste recycler, and the idea behind this is that if you can find a use for it, you can have it. So all sorts of random stuff here, like this is a boat throw. You know, it's quite heavy. So fun stuff. We've got the PCB etching station in there, and then in the next room we have what we call the library. The reason we call it the library is where we keep all of our electronic components. We've got resistors, we've got capacitors, we've got diodes and transistors and stuff like that. So chances are, if it's a common device, you can just pick it up. You don't have to buy anything. And then our last little station I want to show you is this old 1970s embroidery machine. Adam, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so this is the sewing station. We have an old school sewing machine. We have an old school embroidery machine, but they both work. And we've been trying some interesting stuff. Taking these automotive relays, if you break them open, you get this really nice magna wire. And actually, you can roll them up into bobbins and throw them right in either of these machines and start printing electric circuits right into clothing. And so we're sort of investigating that to see what we can do with it. So it's all very exciting.
That's totally rad, guys.
Yeah. So I don't want to run over my time.
Please, you have more to show us? Your space is amazing.
Okay. Yeah. Why don't we come back into the lab here? We of course got a refrigerator. I really like this station over here. This is the PCB etching station, and it's kind of junked up, but we have a big giant laminating press here that you can put monstrous circuit boards in. But it doesn't work as well as this little teeny one that it's a roller press. But they're both basically laminators. And we keep a lot of this stuff on hand. This is single-sided copper clad, but it's super, super thin. After you etch it, it's real flexible. After you etch it, you can see through it. So what we do is we print two-sided circuit boards, the sides separately, and then we just hold them up to the light and line them up, and we get great registrations like that without having to fuss around a lot with holes. We have this fun little thing. Instead of having to stir it or shake it yourself, we have an actual oscillator here with a little heater on it so that we can heat up the solution and make it go faster. And then we've got our chemical thing up here. We've got a little bit of ferric chloride, but lately we've been turning to hydrogen peroxide and muriatic acid to make this fun green juice that we make sure we keep away from children, because it does look like punch.
We also have a small CNC router outside that can actually drill the circuit boards or etch or route out simple boards. That's another one of our little handy toys, but it's way out here if you want to get out.
Yeah, why don't we come see that?
Yeah, sure.
That's a really nice one.
I like your shirts, too. Those are really nice.
Woo! This was a laminate trimmer or laminate router that used to make the cool little signs for the doors at people's offices. So we rebuilt it, remodified it, put an actual Z-axis in it, and at that point, it can actually cut out the circuit board patterns for you and build whatever you want. It also does a great job of drilling holes. If you got a board with a whole bunch of ICs, you need a whole bunch of holes that line up.
Wow.
Cool. You know, there's a lot of people in the chat who really like your space a lot. If they want to become a member, how do they do that?
Well, the best way is to come either on a Tuesday night at about 7 p.m. or a Thursday night. Tuesday nights are our official meetings. We conduct club business there, so it's a good way to get introduced to a lot of people. Thursday nights is our builders night out, where you just bring a project in if you want help with it or you want to show it off. You do that. That's also a good place. And the idea is to make a couple of friends, get them to sponsor you for membership, and then you put down a $100 security deposit, and our rate is $80 a month if you're going month by month.
What other members do you have right now?
We're all really friendly, so it's easy to get sponsored.
We've got one other thing I want to mention. We've just added a couple of new member classes. We've got a student membership at $40 a month, as also can show a valid student ID, and then a part-time membership at $40 a month for the people who just can't swing the 80. and that gives you Monday through Thursday or Friday through Sunday access to the space.
Great. That
Great.
sounds awesome. I hope that we get lots of local people getting more involved with Milwaukee Makerspace.
Yeah, we're excited. We're growing. We feel like we have a lot of momentum, so we hope to be here for a long time to come.
Great.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you, everybody at Milwaukee Makerspace.
We appreciate it.
Bye.